Today, I'm going to be talking about my arduous journey, a journey in search of employment. That's right, I'm finally going to get a job. And the main reason that, I'm going to get a job is I never thought I'd get to the stage in life where I wanted to get a job. But as an architecture student, I've suddenly gone from these stressful days where I think of nothing else but projects. And now, in the summer, I'm basically living these dreadful days with zero structure. I wake up like 11 a.m, phone on hand, scroll for like an hour. Genuinely the most miserable I've ever been in my life. And I want to change that. And it's weird because initially I thought that Chud Summer was going to be so good, bro. I was gonna clock in at least 100 games a day on Blitz SG and finally make a name for myself. But instead, these days have just been going so slow, and I've been so demotivated, and I've not even had the energy to post on YouTube anymore, which was also something else I wanted to do. But yeah, I think for me personally, like for my health, my mental health, I need to find that sense of structure around my day, and a job would just be perfect for that. I mean, technically I already do have a job. I'm actually working for a friend's business doing customer support, but bro, I'd rather employers don't even know about that, because I am technically a Discord mod, and I've got to change that. The pay's good for what I do. I basically clock in about an hour a day, but for me, a job has always been working with people face to face, and bro, responding to tickets on Discord just doesn't feel real. I can't lie. Like I get to the end of the week, I get my paycheck, and it's just the money doesn't feel real. I'm not gonna lie, the money doesn't feel real. But yeah, let me tell you, bro, no one wants to hire a 19-year-old university student during the summer, and especially in London. Like these past 6 weeks, I've applied to 12 architecture internships, 27 retail jobs, and I've not landed a single one. And bro, no one tells you before doing architecture how hard it is to land a fucking internship or land like valuable work experience, because only the good firms do internships, and there's a bunch of people applying to good firms. I wouldn't say I'm the best, because I'm actually doing a course in architecture and engineering. So the way it works when you apply for internships or architecture in general is that you have to hand in a portfolio of your work. And this past year, I've basically splitting my time 50-50 doing architecture modules and then also engineering modules. So while I only have 1 or 2 projects from the whole year, a normal architecture student has finished the year with 3, 4, maybe 5 projects, all of which are going to go in the portfolio. Which already puts me at a massive disadvantage, right? So that's basically been my cope this whole time as to why I've not landed a single internship at the big firms. So after basically getting rejected from all these architecture internships, I decided, well, this was in the meantime actually, I hadn't even heard back from there, but I pretty much knew that it was cooked. So I applied to these jobs that was sort of like adjacent to architecture in a sense. They were a bit like history related. One of them was an internship for research from the... Fuck, I gotta search it up. Yeah, for London historic buildings. Work from home, paid research project on a building of your choice. Perfect for me, right? 35 paid hours a week? That's crazy. 35 paid hours a week just to work from home, and like 2 days of training where I actually have like an output at the end would be perfect for, my portfolio. And for money, bro. Minimum wage on... It's crazy. So I was one of the internships, and I genuinely thought I had a chance, because early in the year, one of my architecture models was an illustrated essay on a London building. So yeah, I put that in my application. I was like good to go. But no, unfortunately, 3 weeks later, I got the rejection for that. So yeah, that was one of the rejections of many to come. I ended up applying to a lot of these museums where they're offered what they call like these visitor experience jobs. And unfortunately, bro, not a single one of these landed. I didn't even get an interview to any of these, and I don't even know, because those would be the ones that my CV does favor. I've got a bunch of work experience already from past years, but this year there's genuinely, it's been so dry. I basically hit rock bottom at that point. I was like, they don't even want me at these adjacent ones? Where the fuck are they gonna want me? So I decided to just kick the bucket and apply for retail. I'm talking like supermarket jobs, stacking shelves, you know, working for fashion stores. Any retail job that I could see available, I applied for. The first day I must have sent in about 10 applications, nothing to even hear back from a bunch of them. And what I would do every morning was send in about 3 or 4 applications and carry on with my day. And at one point, I applied for a part-time, I think it was about 6 hours a week at Argos, which, if you're American, I guess is pretty similar to Target. I applied for sales assistant, which is so entry level. I did their online training, which was this bullshit, which I can't lie, I answered with ChatGPT. And this is kind of interesting. The one training I did online, this electronic filtering system that, you know, filters out the incompetent ones from, I guess, the better lot. So yeah, the one I did with ChatGPT at Argos actually went through and I got taken to the next stage. But then the one I did for the co-op, which is, I guess, a 7-Eleven is the alternative, actually didn't go through. And bro, the one at the co-op told me that I didn't work well as in a team, which is crazy because, you know, I'm an architecture student. I've done fucking group projects with people that have been incompetent. I know how to handle useless people. So I got to the next stage at this Argos job. I had an interview. I was actually able to pick a slot, a 30-minute slot during the next week. And I went for the earliest one that was available because, you know, I'm a committed guy. I got to show them that if I can pick between Monday and Friday, I'm coming in at Monday 11 a.m. And that's exactly what I did. I put on, you know, a smart casual fit. I had a shirt and some chinos. This is my first interview ever that I'd like landed that was not, you know, school or university adjacent. So I was low-key feeling a bit stressed out, I'm not gonna lie. And during all this stress and like preparation, I'd forgotten to bring my passport with me for evidence of right to work. So I'm halfway there, I'm traveling by underground really. And I realized I don't have my passport with me. So I text my brother, oh my god, bro, you need to bring this passport. This is the only internship I've landed. Like I need this, bro. Please, I need this. So yeah, he was really kind and brought it all the way over to me. Well, all the way. It was 20 minutes. But I wouldn't have made it if I'd gone back. So thank you to my brother. I get off the subway, I arrive, I'm in front of the desk. Where's the manager? I asked for the manager, you know, warm smiles, everything, super nice. And she takes me to the warehouse. It was quite a small warehouse. It's basically in the back of a supermarket. So I'm in the storehouse, fucking shit everywhere. Like, this was the most untidy place I've ever seen. Shelves were like all labeled. There are these little boxes with even more boxes of products inside them. And, you know, I'm walking in, I'm looking around. I'm trying to look like I'm interested, right? Because I need this. So I show as much interest as possible, you know, before sitting down. And even before she starts the interview, she's like, oh, you know, she's getting to know me. I'm getting to know the place. It's like, oh, have you worked at other Argoses before? She's like, yes, yeah, I actually have worked in a couple. This is my 3rd place, my first job as manager. So I was like, oh, really? Oh, are they usually this small? I was like, oh, yeah, this is actually quite a big warehouse, you know? We're talking. She's like, all right, let's start the interview. And bear in mind, the night before, I'd searched up on YouTube interview questions for this sales assistant role. So at this point, I've got a bunch of answers ready in the back of my head. You know, oh, how would you deal with a difficult customer? Oh, I would treat him just like any other customer. I would listen attentively and use my active listening skills to make sure that they are being attended to and they feel valued. I had all this stuff ready. I felt confident. So, you know, we do the whole bureaucracy first, eligibility to work. And then she asks me about the last time I dealt with a difficult customer. You know, not the hypothetical, oh, how would you? It was, all right, what was the last time you actually did deal with a difficult customer? And I kid you not, I, for about 5 seconds, hesitated, you know, between telling her about my role as this e-commerce customer support. And so I was thinking for these 5 seconds, okay, if I tell her about the quote-unquote part-time I'm already doing, would that affect my application? Like, would she be less keen to hiring me because I've already got something going on the side? On the other hand, I was thinking, wait, this is a set of valuable skills that I could actually use in the job. So I thought, fuck it, you know, let's just tell her. And I did. Actually, you know, I used my real experiences. And you know what? I had fun. A bunch of other questions I was able to answer using these group projects at university. And she's like, oh, really? Oh, I studied this too. And like, oh, yeah, I didn't like my group projects at university. So it felt like, you know, there was a conversation going and we had common ground. So, you know, I'm walking out of there. I'm feeling quite confident in myself, if I do say so myself. And as I leave, she said that I'd hear at the end of the week, on Friday. So I wait until Friday. Loki, you know when you have plans later on in the day and it's like the afternoon and you just can't, you just paralyzed the whole time. That was basically me the whole week. I couldn't do anything, bro. I was in this state of not really wanting to do anything because I don't know, I was just thinking deep thoughts. Anyways, so lunchtime comes around and I get this email. First of all, an email is a bad sign because on the way out she told me, yep, I'll call you if I need you. I've already received this email, so I'm like, fuck, it's done, it's over. I open it up, I see unfortunately, and bro, like I'd like to say that it didn't impact me, but it's just the fact that during the week I'd just been receiving these automatic, well, I guess some were automatic, some were just straight up rejections to the various jobs that I had been applying to. Just seeing that the furthest I've gotten has been for nothing, bro, that is such a shitty feeling. It is such a terrible, terrible feeling. And like, it's not like I'm I don't have a bad CV. I'd say mine's like pretty decent. So after this rejection, I wouldn't really say ironically, but like, I was applying for jobs that I probably wouldn't have earlier on in the day. So, for example, I applied for night shift at Primark. I don't even know what was going over my head. You know, just as a sort of joke, as a sort of proof that if I didn't get that one, I was worth nothing. And 2 weeks later, I've not heard from that one. So I think it is truly cooked. Looks like I'm gonna have to keep my income stream from e-commerce customer support and call it a day. No one wants to hire a 19-year-old uni student. It's crazy. I think the best thing I can do right now is work on my portfolio so that I have those extra things that I'm lacking right now for next year. And right, I look need to like hop off this game. This game's ruining my summer. Like it's terrible. It's terrible, and